So this is how to set up our class. You come to the list, then you come down to class list, and it brings you to this window. You come below and click on, say, list. We look at our items first. Item list. We say we want to set up classes to keep track of all these items. Okay. And we are doing it for architectural design, civil engineering, structure, and the clothes. So come list, class list, class under new. Say women clothes. Okay. Class new. Structural engineering service. Okay. Class new. Civil engineering. Engineering service. Okay. And design. I think we have design. Let me check. Item list. We have structural to architectural design. Okay, architectural design, blueprinting. Okay, markup, postage and delivery. So architectural design, go to our class list. We add another class called architectural design. Architectural design. Okay. Also come new blueprints. Those who comes for blueprints to get blueprints. Okay. We also say we have postage and delivery to keep track of how much we make. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Markup. Okay, we're marking up. We say list. Then we come under, we say class, we say new. Then we say markup. Markup. Okay. We'll say okay. So we have just created our classes for our services. So what do we do now? We have to go back to our service and our item list, okay, and edit each of them so that we can fix in their classes that we are using to keep track of them. So first of all, we start with architectural design. We say edit. We did not put how much we are charging for our design. Maybe we are charging 100,000. Now, what class are we using to track this? You click on it and to bring up all the list. So you select architectural design. Okay, so you say okay. Then also artwork, the same thing, can double click on it. How much are we charging for our artwork? We say, okay, we are charging 50,000 naira or 150. Okay, now we say 70,000 for artwork. Then is it taxable? Yes or no? You know what to do there. It's taxable, you put it. You put the account that you're using to track it. Our artwork is part of our design. So you select the class. So if you may have different kind of artwork. That's when you now create one called artwork. Then you create the next ones and be using the sum item of to sum it under it. So but now the class, we say artwork class is this. You can even type only the name if you leave artwork to bring it out for you. Artwork, click on it. Then you say you can put unit of measure, but you don't need it for most of these service things. So you just say okay. Then with the same thing, engineering, we'll say it's on civil engineering service. You say how much are we charging? You can see we're charging 1 million. It's just based on the contract, but you can edit the amount. It's based on the contract, but it's something you can edit. You can just put 1 million, just as a price there. Then our structural engineering, we say class structural engineering. Then we say we're also charging 1 million for that. Say okay. Then we have our engineering, we have our men clothes. So you do the same, you select all the classes for them. You say this for men clothes. Okay. Same way for women. Say women class, women clothes. Okay. Blueprinting. You select blueprinting. Blueprinting. Blueprints. Okay, you can put the amount we charge. Maybe we are charging 10,000 naira for our blueprint drafting. Also for our markup, we can say we are charging 15,000 naira for our markup. Or if it's percent, you can say 5%. We charge 10% for that. 10%. Okay, you say okay. Okay. Then postage and delivery. You can put it to say, okay, we're charging and 20,000 or for delivery of the engineering drawings, depending on the location, but we have a fixed price of 5,000 naira fixed rate. Anything higher aside from that, the client will come and pick it up or we pay more. So we'll say, okay, let's check markup. Okay, we have not put in class markup. Okay. So this way we have just we just did the class feature now for each of these transactions. So if we go to our report and we say we want to view the report called our list report, you can see class list is not yet here. But as time goes on, expecting that list to also pile up, then we can also check for our profitability by class reports under our POL. Okay, if you come down, you can see profit or loss by class. Okay, so for now, there is no class yet. There's no class yet for that. There's no class yet. But as time goes on, we are going to be able to, get to see that very, based on the transaction that have been done. So I haven't done this. It's also important that you take note that if, for instance, let's say we want to make some and perform a transaction, a quick transaction for our clients. Okay, maybe we have a client called one of our clients called maybe Inoc Investments or Blanco. Okay, Blanco comes and says they want one of our services. So how do you do it here in QuickBooks? Now, basically, that may not be your tax, okay, to be raising invoice. I don't know. I have told you that you need to first of all know your functions, your tax, based on your rule. Once you have known them, use these favorites here, where we have favorite, customize it, select those accounts that you know are part of your job description. Select it so that you'll not be running up and down everywhere. And how do you do that? If since you know you're to be maintaining all these accounts, you prepare accounts, you can add this. You can add it, you click on it and add, push it to that side. If you know fixed asset is part of you push it to that side. You scroll down, whatever you know that is part of your working with your trial balance, you reconcile, you push it to that side. You reconcile, take it over, journal entries, send it, make journal, send it there. Whatever you're doing, you can just put it there. Whatever you're doing, you can just be sending in there. Currency calculator, you manage fixed assets. Okay, measure the depreciation part, you send it there. Now, you doing this is going to help you. Maybe you are to adjust the inventory activity section, you send it there. Or what you know that has to do with your employee center, maybe you also do your employee calculation and every other thing. You send it over there based on your functional areas, so that when next you're working, all this, you send them, try all this, you just push them. Then you can say, okay, now what happens now is this. Instead of running around all year, you already know that you've set up those information. So you can just come to favorite. If you want to go to chart of accounts, you can just go there direct. Maybe you want to make a journal entry, you can just click on it, take you there direct. Okay, if it's the bank aspect you put there to just take you there direct, I can be able to record that. If it's the invoicing, for example, you put it there, okay, depending on how you want it to be easier for you. So let's say we want to see how that class feature can really aid us. Okay, what do we do? Now we'll come to invoice. We come to invoice here, we'll click on invoice. Maybe they contacted us, so we'll click on invoice and we say, okay, who is this customer? We say it's Blanco. So we're going to select and select Blanco. Now, after selecting Blanco, we are now going to do what? We are now going to, select the particular item. So we'll say, what is that Blanco is, getting from us? We say it's our architectural design. Okay, maybe they came for architectural design from us, and we say it's 100,000. And I told you that you can decide. Okay, you can decide to say, oh, that this is not the only thing there. Maybe you want to put the price, or depending on whatever. So now you notice something when we selected architectural design, it showed us the description. Okay, it showed us the amount, and it showed us class, meaning that this class feature follows it. Anytime we make any transaction relating to architectural design, class feature will keep track of it. Okay, and our tax aspect, we are saying that it's none. So it depends on what you want. So we can just charge this. Then what do we do? Well, okay, we've already added our VAT. So you can type in any message you want to put to the customer. Maybe thank you for your business, thank you for your patronage. You can decide to print this or email this, or click on email it later. You can add time and cost. Okay. Now, since we are like a design, if this is relating to construction, you can put the dates, the time. Okay, you can select the employee, depending if we have set up our employee, select the employee involved in this work, ensuring that this work, that's if we have set up the job, which we'll be looking at the job very soon, how to set up jobs. Okay, so once you have done this, you can also memorize this Blanco, you add it to your reminder list, so that maybe it's something you want to keep track of. Okay, how often do you want to keep track of this? You can just add it up, you put the next date, and definitely, okay, you want to revisit this account on the 15th. Okay, how often? You said, okay, based on what we have entered, we just say this, or you say never, but on this very date, on the 15th. Okay, you can say, okay, let it add it to your reminder list for you. Okay, so it's going to add it to your reminder list. Okay, so now once you have been able to do this, okay, what you're going to do now, you're going to save. It says save and new. I told you do two ways to save. Save and close this box. Save and new closes it and opens a new one, so that you can be able to proceed. So we ticked on email later. So it's asking us for their email. So we can untick it and say save and new. Yes. So we have saved it. Okay. Now what if Blanco also, or Inoc Investment also purchased, also contacted us for one of our service? You also use your invoice to raise that as well. So you select the particular service. Let's say it cannot be structural and civil. There's a way you do those ones. So leave those ones first. So you come to, it may be artwork, you requested for an artwork, and at the same time also requested for us to deliver the artwork, and it's our order charge. We set it up as order charges. So we have added it now. Our artwork, one artwork costs 70,000. If it is two, you have to change the quantity to two, and you see that it's going to multiply to 140. If it is five artwork, you say five. Okay, it's going to multiply to 350,000. So you can see delivery fee have also been what? Added, okay, for this artwork. So same way, we have selected it, and what do we do now? You can do what? You can say save and close, provided you don't want any information relating to this. We say save and what? Close. So this means that we have just, invoiced this to these very clients. Okay, now it showed us this information because remember we are owing 100,000. We're owing them an outstanding of 100,000. So it brought this to show us that this is the original amount of what we have just sold, okay, against the other credit use of 100,000. Now what it means here is that if they are, and we are offering this service to them for 355,000, because we are owing them 100,000, we should not be expecting them to pay this complete amount. Instead, use this credit. That's the reason why I said you should use negative sign when you're entering any outstanding that the company is owing the client. So you can see that instead their balance due is going to be how much? 255,000 naira, meaning that that outstanding is going to go out. But you can untick it. If you don't want them to remove it from the balance we are owing them, you can untick it. But if you want it to be based on that, you can tick on it. So it's going to deduct it from their money that they are going to pay us this. But if you don't want, you untick it. So I can just tick it and say done. So once I've done that, I've just created that. But now, you know what the invoice is used for because payment have not yet been made. So let's assume that we have received payment from those clients. What do? We'll click on the receive payment. Let me go back on the home page. Maybe they have paid. After creating the invoice, I will come and click on receive payment. Now, when I click on receive payment, who did I receive from? I say, first of all, Blanco. Now, you can see here, Blanco was owing us 250. And again, there's another transaction of 100, which we just did just now for architectural design. So what do? You select it, what to receive the payment for. It's going to bring up the payment amount here. Are they paying the full amount? If it's full amount, you put it. If it's half amount, you can put it 50,000, depending on how much they are paying. The date they paid, you are going to also capture it. You can leave all this other check, cash information, you leave it. We already have an account that is keeping track of all these payments for us. So once you're done with that very information, you then now can decide to look up that particular invoice for that particular client. Okay, or we can decide to leave this and decide to say, okay, let's look up that based on the customer name. We say who is the customer, we say it's Blanco. Okay, Blanco, and then but we can say Blanco. You see, it brought out all Blanco's transaction so that we know which particular transaction is Blanco paying for. Or say Blanco wants to pay for this. Okay, you can then select the 100,000. Say, okay, it's paying for this, and that's 100,000. So once you're done with that, you click on save and new. If you want to record another payment, but if you don't want, it says save and close. And here you can see it above that is the total money is owing us. So we can say this and say our save and close. Okay. So once we have done save and close, we have just allocated this payment to that particular client and invoice. So same way we can come and also raise another for Inoc investment and you see what they are owing. Okay. The original amount was supposed to be 355, but amount due is 255 because we're owing them an outstanding of 100. So we have ticked it that they should not pay that again, they should deduct it, and that's why we're having it here. So you're going to select this and also do what you say save and close. So this way we'll just perform this payment aspect. Now, once you have done that, you can click on record deposit. Okay, because definitely you want this money to go to your bank account. Now we just raised the invoice and we have received payment from those clients, but this money have not yet been deposited into our bank account. So the next thing to do whenever you raise an invoice, whenever you have a service need for that, you should use an invoice. And when you after using an invoice, record the payment received to match that invoice you raised. Then after that, ensure you record that money, okay, as a deposit into your what bank. You record it as a deposit into your bank and you click here record deposit. After clicking on it, it's going to bring you here. Okay, now we have view payment method. I just leave it on all types. Leave it there. View payment for currency. If it's a foreign currency, definitely we have set up Nigerian Naira. So leave it there. Sort by payment method, by date. Okay, you can say by date, by name, by amount, whatever you want to use. Okay, it still bring them here. So now you can see the payment we received. We received 100,000 from Blanco. We received 255 from Inoc. So what do you do at this point? You select it that these two payments want to deposit it into our bank account because definitely this payment might have been made to the bank account by this client. So you also have to post it here. So at the end of the month when you're doing your reconciliation, your statements will balance. Okay, so you select this. After selecting this, you're going to see it being posted here. Then we have from accounts. Definitely you should have created an account. Okay, for that. So we can leave this account for now. Okay, then you make sure that every information is correct here. Then you say save and what? Close. save and close. So definitely we have just recorded this into our bank. Now if we go to our chart of accounts, and we come to our bank, let's go to our bank. You will notice that our bank have increased. Okay, our bank might have increased, which we have here. We have 755,000. Okay, we have our inventory assets tracking. If you open inventory assets, it will show us our men clothes opening balance. Okay, opening balance for women clothes, and based on the balances we have entered. But our major focus now is to know which of the accounts did we record that deposit into. So if you check here, petty cash, opening, 355. So we have a deposit here. There's a deposit here, 355,000. So if you open it, you see it here. So we have to specify this well. We have to specify this. Let's say this money is going straight to our, let's go to our chart of accounts. Savings, we have 200,000. Okay. So we can use our savings account. So I told you, we noticed that there was an increase here in our current account, sorry. So we noticed that that money paid went to our current account, So you can double click and it will track it down to where it all started from. So we can say definitely maybe we want it to be in our savings, okay? And also say, okay, we want it also. So depending on what you want. But the main essence of this is for us to be able to view since the money went to our this account, that's perfect. But we want to view to get to see, you can see our account receivables account also has a balance. Okay, has a balance of 250,000, keeping it for us. So that's just for that. So we can go to our report to say, let's view reports by class. Okay, maybe the period have ended, and we'll say, let's view our profitability report, okay, by class. So when we click on profit and loss by class, you will see here, okay, you'll see here we have design income 100,000. You can see the classes now. Okay, we have architectural design 100,000, artwork 350, postage and delivery 5,000. So the more transactions that occurs, the more it's going to spread out. And at the end of the period, if for example only today alone we want to know the services that we generated more income from, you can see here that architectural design, we got 100,000 net income, artwork 350, postage 5,000, and we can conclude this one's unclassified. Yeah, we don't view that yet. We can conclude that so far today, artwork, generated more income for us. And I told you can always zoom it. Okay, and we have the report basis, whether it's cash you want or that of the accrual, and you can always check your dates. Maybe you want to check for so date, or you say you want to print this, you can print or save as PDF. Automatically it's going to save this as PDF. And say save this on my system as PDF, and it's going to save it for me as PDF. Okay, it's going to save this for me as PDF. And and like I said, you can comment on your report. If you want to comment on any aspect of this report, you can click on the comment button. Then if you want to comment, there were some things that took place during the course of these transactions. Okay, you can click on artwork and click over there and comment. Maybe you some discrepancy or whatever this thing that was given, you can just comment that so took place. Okay, in the course of the okay, we recorded SS um okay, an SS, okay, in front of blah blah blah. So you can just save this. Just okay. With this now, we have just entered a particular comment for this. So if we save this as profit and loss by class, whatever I want to call it, you may want to call it class report, okay, or I want to call it your service report by services, report by services. It might not be, maybe just like a management kind of report for your management. Okay. And then, we go back to our home page, the period. You can always come and, you can always come. You'll see report by services under your commented reports, report that you've commented on. And when you click on it, you see there that in the course of the transaction, we recorded an SS. So you can also go to normally your report and come to your company and financial. That's where profit or loss is. And you come to profit or loss by class. Okay. When you click on it, you can see those reports over here. And I told you can always click on it to know how come those transactions. Maybe how come we're having 350 here. So you click on it, you double click, and you get to see that this transaction was, the client was INOC investment. It was for artwork, and so, and that's 350. So same way you can say you want to view your profit or loss report, which is in standard, detail, comparison, previous year, and so on. And say, and for comparison, you can see it here. Okay, comparing it depending on the period we want to compare. So, but the main profit or loss you can view right here is that of the, you can go to your memorize. Okay, depending on the favorite, can come there. We have not added that very information here. We have not added profit or loss here yet. Okay, what we added here was majorly to reconcile your accounts, which we will not talk about that today. How to reconcile, you can see it here. Bringing up the bank, we want to reconcile our bank current account. Okay, what is the ending balance that we have? Because definitely this was the beginning balance. So on the bank statement, you should be able to provide the ending balance and being able to say, okay, let's say our ending balance now is I think I saw our ending balance here was 5,000. So if, for example, want to reconcile this, by clicking on the reconcile, you can provide it as say 55,000. I'll say continue. Okay, we'll say yes. Okay, so we should be able to see. So far, this is just the only transaction we have here, 355,000. Okay, for our current, reconciling our first bank current account. This is what we have here, 255,000. That's just what we have. So as things goes on, you can always, do your reconciliation and also enter adjustments. Maybe you notice a discrepancy and you want to do the adjustment. You can always do the adjustments on them. Any of them can do your adjustment and also view your reconciliation summary where you get to see, based on the necessary adjustments which you have done. Then for the sales tax, okay, you can get it here. You click on it and you can, you get to see if you want to pay your sales tax, you can view it here. You say, okay, which of the listen, you can also get to see there for that particular period. So you can be able to say, wow, I want to adjust this, I want to do this, so on and so forth. Okay. And but we don't have that yet. So we can go back at this point to say, let's view our profit or loss report. Okay, we can say let's view our profit or loss report. These are reports. So come down to view your report. You come to company and financial. You see your profit or loss standard. That's what you use. So you see it here. Our income. See our incomes. It gives us our total income, and that's our gross profit, our net income. You can see it there. So we can also say want to view our reports by detail. Okay, it's the same. This one now gives it more detail, makes it more wide. You can see it now showing us the full transaction that have taken place from January to September 12th. So you can see our design income invoice that was you sent, okay, that was raised, an invoice to the total design income. These were uncategorized. They were not categorized, more like suspense accounts, since they don't have a particular account for. Can see our profit, our gross profit. Okay, based on our debit, credit, and our balance here, this is our profit. Okay, you can see our reconciliation discrepancies. When we did our reconciliation, we noticed 55,000. Okay, was not was a discrepancy. So after our total expense was this, and this gives us our net income, which is this. Okay, based on credit, debit, we got 660,000. So same way you can decide to say you want to view that of your statement of financial position, balance sheet. Now, how do you do that? Definitely you come down here, you'll see balance sheet standard. Okay, you see our balance sheet showing us our statement of financial position, displaying based on what we have entered, that our current account was this, that, and so on. Now, I told you that we have two types of view, and it's majorly affected here in the balance sheet, statement of financial position, where we have the collapse and expanded view. Okay, so for the collapse, if you watch, we have current assets, checking, savings, first bank accounts, current accounts, 555,000, savings account, 200,000. Now, let's say we want to expand this. When we click, you notice that it brought out the expand view, does not give us the breakdown. First bank, straight, 810,000. It did not show us what and what comprises of it. GTB, 400,000. Petty cash, 100,000. And you can see it here where we have all this very information here. You can see them here. So they did not actually give us, but our account is balanced because our total asset, our liability, and our total asset is 4,150,000. And our liabilities and equity, our total liability and equity is also 4,150,000. But for the collapse view, this expand the collapse view just made it like this. See it. But let's say we want to expand this. You see, it has given us breakdown of First Bank. The First Bank, what made up the 810,000? Its current account plus savings plus the discrepancy we reconciled, 55,000, gave us our total First Bank account. Then plus GTB plus petty cash. Then our account receivables, can see it, also the whole breakdown. And that was how we're able to, get our total liabilities, which is equal to our total asset of 4,150,000. So you can always check and also comment, provided you have any comments you want to make. And also you can customize your reports, okay, based on the dates you want to check, if you want to do your comparisons from this to this. Okay, you want to check for previous period, previous year. You want to check the percentage change. Okay, let it be in the row. Okay, and you say okay, so you can be able to see it, the percentage changes. That's if you've recorded a lot of transactions for year to year, month to month. This is just the first month, so there's no percentage change in terms of comparing September to this social period to this social period. You can't get that yet. Okay, so but you can decide that, okay, for the week, you want to view for the week to see each of the transactions for the week. And then, this is from January. This is from January. So we can say, no, we don't want to check from January. Let's change it to this month. Okay, so for this month, third, there was nothing. Okay, 55,000 on the third. The rest, nothing. Transactions came in here. We have on the 10th, 455,000. Okay, we have also on the also date, and that's just how. And you can also comment and also get to say, oh, I want to print out this report. And when you do this and say print, or you say print preview, sorry, you have to preview or print out first. So, and what should be better you print should be you going back and say, let's go back to our window. If we go to our accountant and tax, we want to check our this for our income tax preparation, but we don't need that yet. So we want to view that of our trial balance at this point. You can see it. Trial balance is showing 55. We say last month, so you always make sure you view it properly. So we say for trial balance for all, so you can see it showing us 4,150,000 based on debit credit, and it's very accurate and very correct. So same way, we want to print this trial balance. So you say print this report, you say preview. So it's going to print it out and it's going to be like this for you to see. Okay, it's going to be this way for you to see. So same way, we can close this and say, oh, we don't want to print this. we want to also view our out of our profit or loss report, or we want to get our report by class. Okay, our report by class, which is here. So we want to also print this report by class, or want to download it in PDF. Okay, you can also preview this and say this is it. You can see architectural design, we made 100,000 for the month. Artwork, we made 350. Postage and delivery, we made 5,000. So that's just how it works. And can move to the next page, but that's not the only page. Now that's how it works. So ladies and gentlemen, this is just part of what we'll be able to cover for today. So in our next class, we'll be looking at other aspects which are very important as far as accounting here in QuickBooks is concerned. And I'll be showing you how to merge two companies, because QuickBooks does not currently provide for merging of two companies though, but only lists such as customer and vendor can be imported and exported presently, not transactions. And it is important that you know a lot of things as far as you're working here. And in order to import data into the file, the data must first be exported so that you can utilize the import format